1, 2, 3, go. Oh my god. Okay, so this one was interesting to research, all right? Seisaku Nakamura. The Hamamatsu deaf killer. Oh my days. So Seisaku Nakamura was active from 1938 to 1942, from the ages 15 to 19. So this man, he was a baby boy through all of this, all right? Child.
Shut up and leave me alone!
Little thing, all right? And his time was short, thankfully. However, what makes him interesting to me is the fact that he was, like the name suggests, completely deaf. This was a deaf motherfucker going around and killing people. Do I need to say anything else? Like, really, that's fucking crazy, dude. Crazy. But anyways, what arises from this, at least for me, is the question. How was this motherfucker active for so long? Like it's only 4 years. I think it was only around 4 years. Yeah, it was only 4 years. 1938 to 1942. He was deaf. And he killed so many people. It's egregious, man. Egregious. But, hey, man, we'll get into this and much, much more throughout this video. But before we start anything, I just want to say, hope your day's going good. And if you're sensitive to, like, murder stuff, don't watch this video. Don't do yourself like that, you know? Go eat a bag of popcorn and, like, watch some Friends or something, you know? Just go hang out. Just go chill. But with that warning out of the way, hope you enjoy. According to his confession on August 20th, 1938, a 14-year-old Nakamura, I know I said 15 before him, but he was 14 when this occurred. He was turning 15 soon. A 14-year-old, sorry, that's besides the point. A 14-year-old Nakamura attempted to rape a girl, and naturally when she resisted, because, I mean, I would too, honestly, I wouldn't want anyone entering my holes unwanted. The only reasonable thing to do at that point, I guess, according to him, was to brutally murder her with a fucking knife. but wait. Oh, there's much more, all right? Not only did he do this to one girl, which is horrifying and horrible, and bless her heart, but he did this twice to 2 different chicks. But that's not even the craziest part. On the same day. He did this twice on the exact same day. So, not only did Nakamura attempt to rape 2 girls on the exact same day, he brutally murdered the both of them, and then just dumped their bodies somewhere. We don't know where, but I'll get more. I'll get more on that later. Trust me. That goes a little deeper, right? So, after this event, Nakamura just kind of chilled, doing deaf person things, you know, probably just playing Halo 2 with the boys over a LAN party, because, you know, 1940s, they don't have internet just quite yet. But then, like a crackhead, that motherfucker started itching again. He was like, oh yeah, I need to go after them just one more time. So, 3 years after his first 2 victims on August 18th, 1941, Seisaku murdered a woman in the OG method, fucking used a knife on her, as well as he severely injured another woman, who of which ended up not going to the police because I don't fucking know. I don't know. I wish I had an answer for you, but she didn't go to the police. All right, that's all you gotta know. But this event wasn't enough for this fucking guy. It never is. So 3 days later, he got that itch once again. And he then proceeded to stab and hack apart another 3 people. Fucking 3. Bringing his totality to, I'd say 6 now. 6 plus 1 woman who, bless her heart, fucking severely injured and didn't go to the police about it. But speaking of the cops, if you think they were starting to think anything by now at this point, like, a lot of people keep dying. What the fuck is happening? You would be mistaken. Like, surely mistaken. They weren't thinking that at all. So, again, more on that later. So, now that Seisaku has committed around 6 murders, naturally, the only course of action is to go ahead and murder members of your family. Like, that's the only natural progression, right? That's just what you do. I mean, shit, maybe that's what I would do. Fuck, I don't know, man. I don't know what's like to be a person who's murdered 6 people. So, yeah, just go ahead. Let's just start killing anybody you fucking want now, eh? So, on September 27th, Seisaku got into an argument with his brother, which, knowing him, naturally led to the complete desecration of his brother and also the stabbing of his own fucking father, sister, niece, as well as his sister-in-law. The fucking sister-in-law. Like, leave that bitch alone. Bro, she married into this family. She chose this life, I guess. But, like, fucking keep her out of it, bro. Like, damn. That's crazy. Luckily, they all survived to tell the police what happened, right? Right? Well, no. You would be completely wrong. After the events I just described, Seisaku, after Seisaku said, "Hey, I'm about to head out," in which he did, and his family told the cops nothing, nada. After he said, "I'm about to head out," as the cops came, family said nada, not a fucking word. So I could go on a whole rant about it, but I already did that researching to my own dad, and I'm just tired of this absolute buffoonery. I can't anymore. Bruh. So, almost a year after this event on August 30th, 19, on August 30th, 1942, Seisaku, in a random fit of rage, was walking down the street, and like any rational human being, he'd be like, "I'ma head in," when he saw a young woman walking on the other side of the street from him. He then proceeded to follow her home, to which the woman noticed him and kindly welcomed him into her home, where he and her family then baked cookies and became good friends. No, in reality, Seisaku brutally stabbed the young woman, her husband, and the 2 youngest kids, leaving the last girl to be subjected to a rape attempt. However, like Slim Shady once said, man grew guilty conscious and he dipped before doing anything to the girl. God, I am retarded. So now that Seisaku was like, "I'm gonna come through the roof because I don't know where the door is," but reverse because he dipped. This girl, after he dipped, was like not like the rest of the people in the story so far, and she actually went to the cops. She's like, "Thank fuck for that. Thank God. There is a God above," and he sent down like a message to that chick, being like, "Hey, yo, enough's enough, bro. Like, get him out of here. Get him out of here. He gotta go. Gotta go." So after she went to she went to the police, right? And because the event like just occurred, she gave a really good testimony and a description of Seisaku. And I know what I said earlier, but the police weren't completely dense, because they did have eyes on this man after the events that happened with his family. Because like he was the only one who was like a part of that event according to the family, and nothing happened to him. Like absolutely nothing. So like that's a little sus. All right, that's a bit sus. So the police honestly just took her word for it, and it was like, yeah, it was this dude. It was this dude. They arrested him, and he was tried on October 12th, 1942. And the police saw this man as the monster he was, so much so that they completely ignored the doctors calling him insane. They completely fucking ignored the doctors, all right? They were like, this man is going to rot in either prison or he's going to get fucking hanged. And guess which one happened? He was fucking sentenced to death, and he died by hanging in the year of 1944. Which are so baller of the cops. I seriously hope every single one of them who made that decision gets a fucking raise. Well, no, not the cops, but like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody involved with like sentencing this motherfucker to death. I hope they all got like, hope they all have great like experiences in life. Hope they're all doing well. Hope they lived long, healthy lives. Because honestly, fuck that guy. Oh my god, bro, this is so corny. Yeah. But to get a little bit more serious, I know I've just been kind of joking around, whatever. But people did die. People experienced things that should never be experienced by anyone. No one, no one deserves a death like that. No one deserves a death that Seisaku subjected people to. And this event was so horrific that I must mention that his father committed suicide once Seisaku was convicted. This fact really hit me in a deep way. It just goes to show you that how you treat people really affect everyone around you. Your actions affect everybody around you and yourself. And it's just a reminder to me to always treat people with respect and be grateful and always do whatever you can for your family and friends. Because I feel like a lot of people today are really selfish. They always think about themselves. They don't think about how their actions affect the people around them. And this fact about his father just reminded me why I want to tell these stories. Because like these events are so horrific and so horrible that you have to pull good lessons from them. You have to look at these people and their actions as what not to do. And you have to grab good lessons from it. It's like the Bible in a sense, Like you can believe that the events depicted in the Bible are true, or you can think of them as just ways to teach lessons, and that's comparative to what I'm trying to describe right now. Yeah, but just remember, just be respectful, just be a nice person, and just do the best you always can, 'cause we're not around forever, right? Sometimes we make wrongs that can never be reversed. Yeah. But on to get back into a more lighthearted and like maybe a bit of a goofier mood, because holy shit, that got deep. I'm sorry. If you're driving right now, driving to work right now, and you're having like a good day, drinking your fucking Starbucks or whatever, and you just heard that, I'm sorry for like maybe putting you in a bit of a funk. That was not my intention at all. Oh goddamn. Anyways, Cisco wasn't able to be convicted for such a long time because remember when I was saying like, oh, I'll come back to this in regards to like why the cops weren't like honestly up his ass from the very start, is because if you remember the dates going from 1938 to 1942, this is wartime Japan, all right? And most of the efforts of the people were going towards the war machine, right? So I meant less funding for the police, more funding for like from the military and Unit 713, which I'm not going to get into right now. Go watch Wendigoon's video about it if you want to know more in description. So that's why no one was really up his ass and no one really caught him when they did. And it's why we don't know like random facts about like what these people's names were, whether like we don't know like the in-depth facts about them that we know about other serial killer victims. Like look at Dahmer. Look at the Dahmer victims. We know everything about them, right? I know to use that as an example, but we don't know anything about the victims here, which I personally think is honestly a good thing, because I think people get a little too personal with other serial killers, but that's just my own opinion, and that's besides the point. So there's really no one to blame besides him for the reason why this went on for so long. Like he's the one who committed the crimes, and it was just perfect timing. It was just right place, right time. For him, for Seisaku. Well, okay, maybe his family was to blame too, because why the fuck didn't they turn him in? I don't understand that. That would have been the easiest dub in human history. Yeah, so, anyways, Seisaku Nakamura was a horrible person, and I sure do hope that he is getting what he gave in the fiery pits of fucking hell. So that's where that man deserves. As he's not even a fucking man, that's an it. I will call that motherfucker an it. That is not a person to me. He is so incredibly deranged. I don't think he deserves to be called a person. But anyways, I've mentioned this before, but I chose this case because like he's fucking deaf. He was a deaf dude. Like I haven't been mentioning it. I haven't been bringing it up, but this guy was deaf doing all this. All right, so that's crazy to me. But I also wanted to use him as an example for why like we always hear about like the Jeffrey Dahmers and like the John Gacy's, but I think we should really start to look at doors that take place in other places besides just the States. Because trust me, I've seen and I've read some terrible, terrible things researching for this video. Well, shit, that's it. There's not really much to mention. So, hopefully, I didn't ruin your day too much. And just remember what I talked about earlier in this recording. Just respect people around you and look at these stories and try to pick out good lessons in them. Seriously, that's because this stuff is so depraved and so horrific. It's easy to get really lost in the sauce with it, but that's just my method for like keeping it all good up there in the mental. You feel me? But anyways, hope you have a good day, and I'll check you later. All right, peace.